Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Everyone checking in on the market. SPY had a daily inside bar today on really low volume, so we are likely to break that inside bar bearish tomorrow just because the Netflix earning reaction after hours, 14% drop, big pullback. The tech sector's pulling back as well. So all the bears in the market are probably salivating and say, this is it. This is our chance. We're going to dump now. And you know my standpoint if you've been watching these videos. We're not going to dump in this market unless the tech sector and the financial sector pull back at the same time. And actually, the energy sector has had a little bit of downside weight in the S&P 500 recently as well. Oil has had a very bearish 4 days in a row. So there are some factors that are leading to some downside. But if we look at SPY, key support is 276.52. There's a gap at 275.84. And on the weekly time frame, anything above 268.49 keeps the bulls in full control. So at this point, we have about 4% that we can pull back and still be at that support level. So XLK is going to be looking to pull back. And at this point, it's been very healthy consolidation on the daily. First support is 71.15. And then on the weekly, XLK's trend is not going anywhere unless 68.57 breaks. So same thing here. We have a few percent of space and of wiggle room to maintain the uptrend. And really what it is now is the burden goes to the financial sector. So the financial sector has been very weak and the tech sector very strong. And now we might see a swap where the financial sector has a daily higher low and clear higher high, very strong close at the end of the day, and trying to change the trend. We did change the daily trend. In order to change the weekly trend, we have a lot of work to do. Last lower high was 28.15. So not expecting to change this weekly trend on this initial attempt, but the size of the bounce will have us looking for a weekly higher low to form once we do top out. And the trend change is a possibility. Also make note of the weekly middle Bollinger Band. Remember how many times we've rejected from this level. Here we are about to test it again. So if the financial sector can hold up and not see a ton of downside tomorrow while the tech sector begins to price in the potential of bearish earnings for the rest of the major name, then if the financial sector holds on, we're not going to see a ton of downside in this market, and we're not going to see trend changes. Again, we're going to have to see the tech sector fall apart and lose its weekly higher low, and we're going to have to see the financial sector form just another lower high and head back down as well. So IWM on the daily chart, pulling back still. I'm watching weekly supports for all these longer term trends. That's what I'm most interested in. And weekly higher low is 161.68 for IWM. We have about 3-4% before that support is broken here. And QQQ, just the start of healthy consolidation. It's going to get more magnified with the tech sector weakness tomorrow. But again, anything above 169.17 is a higher low, maintaining the uptrend. So the bottom line is, until these weekly long-term trends change, the bulls maintain full control of this market. If we start to see huge bear volume on the daily time frame and we start racing down to these higher lows, then we obviously know that the odds of losing those higher lows is likely. But until that happens, we have to keep the longer term perspective in check, and we have to be watching the financial sector to say, can you bulls now hold up this tech sector, which has been doing it for you for so long? So VIX, a little bit of upside today, not a ton, but expecting a spike up with the bearish after hours reaction to the earnings of Netflix. So resistance 12.97, and then to change the trend, we have to break 14.15. So same thing here. If we don't break 14.15, the bulls aren't proving anything. And the weekly time frame to prove anything on the weekly trend change, we're looking up in the 19s. So yes, we're getting the first signs. We've gotten these signs plenty of times while the bulls have maintained their uptrend on this weekly time frame. Until that breaks, it's going to be really hard for me to be bearish. I can be bearish short term, looking for some consolidation on the daily, absolutely. But in terms of longer term trends, there are no red flags at this point. We'll continue to keep an eye on it day after day. Give me a red day in the financial sector on high bear volume and a dump day on the tech sector, and I might start to change my tune. We'll see. We'll check back in tomorrow. Have a good night.